Hey you guys, I'm here to bring you my Marco Polo Season 2, Episode 2 review. And yeah, I'm gonna be. This is pretty much part 1 of part 2. So yeah, so pretty much part 1, I'm gonna talk about mainly Kaido and and the conversation between Kublai and Jabi. So yeah, so pretty much in regards to Kaido scene, the episode sort of begins off. No, actually, screw it. We're gonna start with the very beginning. So yeah, pretty much the episode begins with Marco and mainly pretty much on the run from that killer like warrior lady, and I believe the little emperor says he has to go to the bathroom, and Maylene says either you have to stand or sit. He says stand, and she tells Marco it's his turn to do it, and Marco's kind of angry. He's like, "Don't play games with me," So pretty much while the little emperor is taking the whiz, whatever, Marco notices the assassin. Yeah, you could say assassin, the warrior lady slash assassin lady, pretty much on their tail. So pretty much Marco has to grab the boy, and him and Maylene are out, and pretty much it's clearly nighttime during the next scene, and Marco's like, I wonder how she keeps it up, and Maylene pretty much dryly responds, well, you know what, you can just stay here, and just ask her yourself, So yeah, after that scene, you have Kaido leading, a hunting party, hunting like a boar or whatever. So one of the men, whose name is actually Arbit, gets a good shot at the boar, but the boar is able to sort of run away. But Horus, the son of Kaido, I believe his youngest son, is at the pretty much at the tail, pretty much after the right up on that boar, chasing it. So yeah, one guy say that Horus is handsome and young and talented, and that he would be what did he say? He said that he would be a good choice to be the next in line to be the next Khan. And Arbit says pretty much followed by saying that even more so than you, Kaido. And then Kaido's all laughing. Kaido's all like, I like when you talk like that. I mean, talk tough like that. Make it seem as if you're strong enough to back it up. And Kaido kind of puts him on blast pretty much, saying that his tribe, like pretty much who saved his tribe, tribe's army when they were trapped in the canyon. It wasn't the house of Tulu, Kublai. It was the house of Ogade, you know? And pretty much he says, what's the good thing about favors being about doing favors for people, gentlemen? The day those favors are returned to you, which is true. So pretty much you have the next scene, and you have everyone sort of like, eating, the fruits of the hunt, So yeah, you have Arbid and the other guy talking about it's not really that it hasn't been done before to try to dethrone a sitting Khan, and especially someone as predictable as Kublai. And they keep on saying they need reassurances, and Kaido's like, what reinsurance can I have, besides us, trying to kill him, And Arbit is like, what, I don't feel comfortable speaking about these matters in front of Kublai's bastard son, aka Byumba. You know, he says, and he continues on by saying, I don't know where his loyalties lie. And Byumba's like, away from prying eyes, And then Kaido's like, listen, it's all about, no, what else happened? Oh, they also mentioned about Naya, Kublai's uncle, his loyal uncle, who they feel though is a very important guy to get their vote, but they feel though he's not gonna change his vote for Kublai, So Kaido was like, listen, gentlemen, he said, one man's vote doesn't matter, It's all about doing something that you believe in, and believe in unifying Mongolia as Genghis did, and that unlike the last coup d'etat, I believe, is what he said, win or lose, everything will be done fairly and according to the book, So yeah, so you have pretty much Kaido asking Arbid, do you remember your father? Your father was a drunkard who beat your mother. He was a scum, a coward. What was the only who loved friends, brains, and esteem? And then Arbit's like, is this how you garner votes? you know. And then he's like, what was the only regret that that little coward had at his deathbed? And Arbor looked at Biyamba and was like, electing that fat fuck as the next Khan. And then Biyamba got up, you know, Biyamba was ready to do it, but he calmed himself down, saying, my father went about it the right way. Biyamba and Arba's like, no, you were too young. You were still freshly sucking on your mom and your whore mother's tits when this was going on. And then Biyamba, he kind of goes for a little walk, then he turns around and just smiles a little bit, just bashes the motherfucker. Then you have these dudes going at it, whatever, but Biyamba had pretty much won the fight, whatever. You know, Arba's not a bitch, but some people are just better than you. And thankfully, Horus comes, you know, Kaido's son comes just in time, and he's like, good shot, Arbid, you know. You have Arbid just breathing like, oh my God, thank you for saving me, you know. So yeah, after that, you have them returning back to the old capital, and you see that Naya has his camp already established, like further down, whatever, like on the hill, I guess, you know. And it has the Christian symbol because, like they said the last video, Naya's a Christian, whatever. So pretty much, Kaido tells Kusulin, you know, go invite him, you know, and whatever. So, and then he also tells Biyamba, listen, I'm trying to beat your father the most legitimate way I possibly can, but beware and understand you're gonna be hearing some things that you don't want, that you don't want to hear, I mean, or believe. You know? And then Biyamba's like, all right. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, he deserved it. Arbid. And then that's when they sort of exchange a smile or whatever. So the next scene, you have Horus with Kutlin. Kudalin, whatever, right? And he's pretty much saying that he should be the next Khan. He's handsome, he's young, and his four wives screams his name. And then Kutlin's like, yo, shut up. You know, typical older sister, brother, you know, little thing. And she's all like, I guess you're already Khan. You got your misplaced confidence, you know. So they get in the tent, and before they get in the tent, you notice Naya's like poking holes in his hair or some shit. He has some shit that looks like a hole that's reminiscent of the holes that Jesus had when he went on the cross, whatever. But yeah, so they get in there. Horus is like, our father invited you a week ago. Why didn't you come? And pretty much Naya didn't really give him a straight answer. It's pretty much like, you know, blah blah blah. So pretty much, what else happened in this scene? And Kudalin asks him, okay, well, my father invites you again, you know, for tonight, whatever. And he's like, I decline. And then Horus is kind of annoyed by this, and he has to sort of be helped by Kudalin. And pretty much, Naya's like, you know, it was about time, Horus. I knew eventually he was going to threaten me, you know what I mean? And then Horus like, listen, you know what I mean? And then he's like, remember, slap one cheek, slap the other, you know what I mean? And then Horus like, if I slapped you, you would have felt it. You know? Horus is like, oh God, the goodness of being young. Arrogance. But yeah, so after that scene, pretty much they leave. Then you have Kublai speaking with Chabi. And Chabi pretty much saying to Kublai that Kaido is not like his brother Eric, who pretty much plotted with their enemies and tried to kill his heir. Kaido's going about this the most diplomatic way. You know, and if Kublai tries to kill Kaido, it would always have his legitimacy as Khan in doubt for the rest of his reign / life. You know, and you can't show how angry. You gotta let the people know that you're in good spirits and mood, and you want to go with the diplomatics and diplomatic type way of going about it. So yeah, what else happened in this episode? Oh, last thing that happened in this episode, Marco speaking with Maylene, and Maylene said that Marco pretty much had the opportunity to leave, and asked why he didn't go, and he's like, they would have cut off to me. But she was saying you was unguarded for several months while she was chained up, and he would at least had an 8-month start. And she's all saying to him, listen, you're delivering the boy into death. The Khan's like, no, the Khan wouldn't do stuff like that. She was like, he done it before, and Marco's like hesitant. He's like, well, he done that in war. She's like, and what's so different about this, So she has him really thinking about this for the first time. Well, not the first time, really more into what he's actually doing and the ramifications. So yeah, this is part 1 of my Marco Polo Season 2, Episode 2 review. So yeah, I'll be back for part 2 of my Episode 2 review. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you can. Write some comments down below. Adios.